Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back as we continue our Women's Month celebration. And I know often it's a commemoration, but today it's a celebration. Across the world, women are leading organizations that protect animals with courage, with care, and with clear results. Impact. Now, PAWS South Africa is part of that story, in fact, driving that movement. It's a woman-led team driving rescue, driving policy change, and most importantly, education where it matters. And their work opens farms, communities, and the wild with one simple belief: a life in a cage is no life at all. And joining us now is the director of PAWS South Africa, one of my favorite human beings on the planet, Fiona Miles, who is going to share some insights into what I think is shaping animal welfare in South Africa and hopefully going to become a leading light for the rest of the world. So thank you for doing what you do.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having us. And I think also just recognizing the incredible work that goes behind. There's so many people that are on the, women-led and unsung heroes that work every day tirelessly. And
majority being women.
Yes.
And that's been my greatest discovery working in this purpose-driven space, is the female-driven networks that are creating real-time impact. What do you think being a female-led organization brings to the party? How does that change things, the way that you plan, the way that you decide, the way that you act? What does that, how does that dynamic shift within an organization like this, do you think?
I think it's how we shape it is it's coming from compassion. So it's very deeply rooted in compassion, very deeply rooted in the way that we want to see the world for our children. And so from PAWS, we have this movement that we want to create to live kinder. We want everybody to recognize that living kinder can be small things that we do every single day, but it's rooted in compassion, rooted in integrity, and rooted in wanting to see a better world in the future.
And strategically, it's a lot more successful. There is a reason why when we invest in women within communities, certainly at the baseline of how most South Africans are living, it used to be 4 times. Now you get 8 times the return on investment. That's what you'll get if you plug into communities in South Africa where women are leading, matriarchs are leading that charge. But in, I think, your case, leadership isn't just a title. It becomes a completely different mechanism. And obviously, there is an element of being able to pick yourself back up after being knocked down, a resilience that I think is a very powerful female energy in that space. But that level of empathy, when you enter into these spaces, how do you approach your big challenges? What is the first emotion that you have to deal with? Because I'm thinking this is strategic, but everything that you do has an emotional underpinning.
It does, and I think that's why we come in it, as I said, with compassion and kindness, but definitely we have to plan very strategically, as you say, and with precision. We can't just, come in and be over-emotional.
If you make a mistake in your space, bad PR is devastating.
It is. And so being well-organized, having a great team of women that are very well-organized. They don't, let's put it this way, they don't mess around. But also, I think it's the empowerment and wanting to see that whatever we do is one thing, but if other people can follow suit. So we really appreciate working with volunteers. Volunteers obviously emulate and work and can spread the word.
You know exactly where their heart is.
And you know where their heart is because they're coming at it. I had a lovely meeting with some of our donors the other day, and all they want to do is help, all they want to do is support, and they are also women and even men. And everybody wants to be able to have the opportunity to do something. And I think for PAWS, creating that space, creating and convening people, bringing people together to be able to do something, to be able to do that one thing that makes this world a bit better.
So much bigger than the sum of the parts as well now. Exactly. And strategically, it just works. And I think there are elements that other organizations, certainly within a commercial space, within the service delivery space, could take major lessons. Where do you think the biggest difference from the female-led network is going to come to bear in your space? Is it the rescue work? Is it the law change? Is it the education at the base level? Because you've got a number of arrows in the quiver now.
It's a lot of moving parts, as you say, and I mean, it's a whole of society approach that we have to take. So, from my perspective, it's more on the policy reform, because we can do all of the other things, but if we don't change the system, if we don't change the systemic issues that we're dealing with, you can put a lot of money into different initiatives and projects and things like that, but when will they see real impact?
Well, therein lies the beauty of this situation, also becomes the downfall, because if you take the purpose-driven person out of that system, then there is no system without that purpose. But when the system is imbued with that purpose, it's very different. How are you guys, because it feels like you empower those that work with you, and I think why other NGOs working in the welfare and human space, the animal and human spaces are gathering behind you is because you collaborate, but moreover you create space around you for others to shine. How do you do that? What's the mindset when empowering women within communities, within organizations, the NGOs that you work for? What's the secret to getting that right, do you think?
When I started working in the NGO space, I found it very fragmented. So everybody was working on their own thing, very tightly holding onto the donor money, the little piece of the pie.
Of the pie.
And I really understand that, because obviously everybody's purpose-driven and they want to see that impact. But what we found is starting to work together, starting to collaborate, starting to have these conversations that we've been having over the last years, suddenly creates this momentum. You start to feel that inspiration from each other. And what we've noticed is that the more that we're doing that, the more people are coming on board. And what we really want to do, and I mean the ambition of PAWS, is to create a movement across the globe for a world where people treat animals with respect, empathy and understanding.
Well, you've done it, because when I tuned into, for instance, the State of Animal Welfare address, I saw people from all over the world speaking the same critical language with critical thinking. And I think to get to a point of critical thinking, you've got to do so much legwork beforehand, jump through so many hoops to get to a point where you can start talking about the stuff that really does matter. I am desperate to get an update on our captive bred lion industry and where ecotourism in South Africa fits in, how much progress has been made. We've seen some major wins within the press for PAWS. Cannot wait to catch up with Fiona on that front. We're going to talk lions on the other side of this.